Fortnite now has over 200,000 creative maps, making it almost impossible to figure out which ones are actually worth your time. That's why I tested over 100 of the most popular practice maps, so you don't have to. After hours of testing, I've compiled a list of the highest quality maps from each main category. Using these, I've built a dedicated practice routine to test in this video, with the goal of finding out which maps truly help me improve the most. First, I need to warm up, and what better way to do that than with an aim edit piece control map. While there are hundreds of maps with this exact title, the best example has to be Raiders Mechanics Training Map V5. This map has everything, from every aim drill you can think of, to piece control tunnels, to free building, and even robot aim duels for everyone that has no friends.
Whoa, hey.
But here's the thing, with so many options, it's easy to get lost and start mindlessly grinding drills without any real direction. That's why having a warm-up routine is so important. Instead of randomly hopping between sections, you can focus on drills that actually target your weaknesses and improve your gameplay in a structured way. For this video, I used a practice routine created by Blexity, designed to take full advantage of everything this map has to offer. His routine started with shotgun side jumps and shotgun reacts to warm up my timing and reaction speed, then moved on to box fight aim and 1v1 aim duels to refine my close and mid-range tracking. Finally, wrapping up the aim training with surge tags for long range accuracy, this being super helpful if you're a competitive player. Once my aim was dialed in, I shifted to free building to make sure my mechs were warmed up. Starting with 80% speed to help my focus and precision, then ramping up to fast speed as a way to improving my edit speed. Once you've done this for a while, you can then head back onto normal speed to adjust back to the normal game again. The last part of this routine involved the piece control tunnels, going through each of Raiders' 12 drills to master awkward angles and dial in my consistency. Finally, finishing with peak training, practicing safe angles to minimize the amount of damage I take in fights. If you want the exact timings and all the details for this routine, Blexity's full video will be linked in the description. Raiders Mechanics Training Map is an obvious S tier map, but here's the thing, it's only as effective as what you do afterwards. If you don't apply these mechanics in a fast-paced, high-pressure environment, you'll never fully translate that practice into real improvement. That brings me to the best fast-paced maps I could find. The first is Forever Zone Wars. This map is perfect for practicing constant action and dealing with third parties, because there is always some idiot jumping in your box for no reason. Every round throws you into chaotic endgame scenarios, forcing you to make quick edits, hit fast shots, and rotate under pressure. It's honestly one of the best ways to replicate real tournament endgames while still being able to instantly respawn if you die. Next up is Turtle Fights. If you've never played it, it's basically non-stop box fights with zero downtime. The confined spaces and constant resets make this map ideal for improving your box fighting and close range aim. By the time I finished playing these maps, I could already feel the difference. My mechanics were sharper, my decision making was quicker, and I was starting to use better peaks like I practiced in Raiders map. This would be perfect for the end of the video where I'm going to be trying to win an Unreal ranked game with the goal of seeing if these maps actually help me to improve. But first, I need to see if the 4 main classic practice maps still hold up. Are they still S tier in today's meta, or has Fortnite evolved too much for them to keep up? The first map on the list is Rezon's 1v1 map. Although there are thousands of 1v1 maps that offer similar experiences, I tend to get the best ping on Rezon's map. These maps can still provide solid fighting practice, especially for low to mid skill level players. They're great for mastering your keybinds and improving your building mechanics. However, the problem with build fights is how unrealistic they are compared to actual in-game scenarios. Because of this, they don't do much to improve your fighting skills once you've passed a certain level. For that reason, I would say build fights is B tier. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we have speed realistics. These maps throw you straight into realistic fight situations with a fast-paced nature, so you're constantly practicing and not wasting time waiting around. However, realistics only work if you play them correctly. The key is to treat every fight like a real game, take as little damage as possible, finish fights quickly, and preserve loot as if you might get third-partied afterwards. Because of this, I'd say speed realistics is an A tier map, but if everyone played it properly, it would probably be S tier. The third classic is rapid box fights. Box fighting has been around forever, but this map speeds things up with faster rounds to maximize your fighting time. Box fights are fantastic for learning peaks and basic piece control when you're starting out, but similar to build fights, once you're decent at the game, the unrealistic tight spaces and limited loot can make it less effective for improving in real game situations.
B tier.
Finally, there's 1v1 Zone Wars. This mode has been a staple of Fortnite's practice routines for years and is still unmatched when it comes to practicing your in-game fighting. The only issue, however, is finding good players to face. There aren't many 1v1 Zone Wars maps with decent players, so you often have to rely on finding opponents through discords or just fighting people you know. Because of this, I'd rate Zone Wars at A tier, but if you can constantly find good players, it's easily still S tier. That brings me to some more modern maps that I wanted to try as part of this routine. These maps are designed to give you more dynamic and realistic practice while focusing on areas where the classics fall short. The first map I tested was 1v2 Clutch Realistics. This map throws you into situations where you're outnumbered, which is perfect practice for the upcoming trio event. It's incredibly useful for simulating those chaotic moments in real games when you're third-partied or stuck in a 1v2 fight. This is the only map that can give you this kind of clutch practice, so for that reason it has to be S tier. Next up is Piece Control 1v1s. This map focuses entirely on outplaying your opponent through smarter piece control and edits. It's essentially box fights, but with a constantly changing map. The fights on this map feel much more strategic compared to the classic box fights, however people play much more aggressive than in real games, so the practice isn't that realistic. For that reason, I'm gonna say A tier. Then I tried Raiders Mechanics 1v1 map. This map has every single fighting scenario you can think of, including basically everything you get in the classics plus more. If you're someone who wants to practice every aspect of your gameplay in an easy way, this map is perfect. S tier. After testing all of these, I can confidently say that more modern maps like these offer a more balanced way of practicing, allowing you to build on whatever skill you want to. But now that I'm fully warmed up, it's time to put these maps to the test, playing Unreal, yes definitely Unreal, ranked to see if I can try and get a win using everything that I've learned. Through the wall. What do you think you're doing? He's one up there. Let's go! And did we get Unreal with that game? We mastered on. Yes, sir.